I'm super passionate. I'm super energetic. I will outwork you, whoever you are out there. I will find a way to outwork you. And it may not be right away, but it will happen. And the reason for that is because I'm super passionate about two things.
You're listening to Titans of the Trades. I'm your host, Ryan Englin, author of Hire Better People Faster and creator of the CoreFit hiring system, a proven process to help growing companies attract and retain only the best. I'm on a mission to revolutionize the perception of the trades and elevate it to new heights. After growing up in a blue-collar family, my passion for making the trades cool again runs deep. If you're a titan in the industry and want to be on my show, stick around until the end and I'll reveal how you can be my next guest. Welcome back to another episode of Titans of the Trades. I am your host, Ryan Englin, and today's guest, you are in for a treat. Such a wealth of knowledge, knows so much about the industry, so much about the trades, has been involved in so many different aspects. And what I love about him is as he shares what his company does over at Shop on Fire, is he talks about how you have to approach your business holistically, whether that's your personal relationships, your personal finances, your home life, like it's all connected. And not as only is he an expert at helping you unravel this challenge of being so many things to so many people, it's just, we had such a good time on the show today. So I want to welcome to today's show, Jeremiah Webb. He is the owner of Shop on Fire, and they work with entrepreneurs to really help them unravel their business and get everything that they want out of it with just life-changing ideas and just a really great coaching program. And as you're going to learn, as he takes you through some of the challenges today and some of the work that they do, just some really great insight into ourselves and how we can accomplish so much more. Let's get started. Jeremiah, welcome to the show.
Thanks, brother. I'm so excited to be here. You got a great name. You've done a lot of really neat things in the industry and other industries as well. And I love your model for building and developing employees within company structures and cultures and stuff. I think it's awesome. So thanks for allowing me to be here. I appreciate it.
Oh, well, I am privileged to have you here. In the last 10 minutes of us talking right before I hit record, you are a wealth of knowledge and you've got so many great nuggets and ways to build the case for why things happen in an organization, everything else. So can you just do me a quick favor? Give me the high level. Who's Jeremiah Webb? How'd you get here?
Yeah, so I'm super passionate. I'm super energetic. I will outwork you, whoever you are out there. I will find a way to outwork you. And it may not be right away, but it will take some time, but it will happen. And the reason for that is because I'm super passionate about two things. One, if you have things that you hate to do, you know you got to do them because in order to succeed, you got to do them, but you hate doing them, you don't want to do them. Well, I do them anyway, and then I get excited about doing them, and then I smile about doing them, and then I get really pumped about doing them. And it ends up being something that I love. So I've always approached life that way, where when I come into something like that, I just keep going and digging. And there'll be times when I'm pissed or times I don't want to do it, but it's just like 10 minutes, right? It's like I have a bad day for 10 minutes. It used to be for a week or a month, and you just keep reducing it and reducing it. And pretty soon you're just kind of like, you know what? The reason I'm here is to grow. 100%. And once I'm growing, help others grow, and then help the community grow, and then help the greater good grow. And you just keep adding to that because it's fulfillment. So that's Jeremiah Webb, number one. Number two is I've always found a way out. So when I was a kid, I stole a pack of bubble gum. You know, I asked if I could have it. I think it was like banana or something. And it's like, I don't know. I just liked banana. It's kind of a weird flavor for bubble gum, but it's good. And I asked my mom and she's like, no. And I was like, ask again, no. Ask again, no. It's like, okay. So I just stole it. I stuck it in my pocket and we were up at the register and the security came up and they pulled me aside and was like, hey, Jeremiah, you know, we need you to empty your pockets. My mom's like, oh my gosh, you know, what is he doing? So I empty everything except for the pocket it was in, you know, and he's like, oh, what about that one? And I pulled it out and there was the gum. And he started digging into me and he goes, you know what? Like we take people like you to jail. And now it was a different thing. Now it wasn't like, hey, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Or, hey, let me pay for it. Or let me come back and work for an hour, you know, or whatever. Now he was starting to like try to trap me and you can't do that. Right. And so I was just like, okay, well then I'd turn into Incredible Hulk and I'd break out. And he's like, what? So he goes, well, you know, Jeremiah, like there's these special nets, they're electromagnetic. We can cast them around Hulk. We'd get SWAT, we'd get the reserve, we'd get the military, all this stuff. We'd eventually trap you and find you, and we would catch you. And I immediately said, Ryan, true story. I said that I would turn into Superman and I would fly away. And he's like, and my mom just started laughing at this point. She's like, now you know what I deal with, dude. And it was just kind of like this thing from the time I was little where I don't take no for an answer, but more than that, any other country in the world, this is one of the great foundings of America, is having that ability, that opportunity, that possibility to do something great with your life, and something that all the other countries lacked for the most part, or lacked like ultimate like way to do it. And so that was me. There was no way to trap me. And so as I go into businesses, I find those areas that have been shut down, closed, trapped, told they can't be done, all this other stuff. And we find ways to roll it and break through. And it just gives these businesses like success they didn't even know they could have. Right. And then I think the third thing is really just, I have a massive passion for life, and I really actually love people, and I really love business. And I really love people that are growing and expanding their businesses, because it provides income, it provides services, it provides product, not just for your employees, but it helps the greater good. Like in my mind, a business allows like the business is a gift, really. It's a gift because it provides income for the owner and all that other stuff, hopefully, or eventually. But it provides path and career for kids and the kids of kids and employees and their kids. And, you know, and you have all these like really successful businesses with multi-generational employees. And it's just such an amazing thing. I love it so much. And so because of that, like, that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm passionate, and why the trades. Just very briefly, my family had an HVAC business. We did HVAC and we did fireplace. And so we sold that to a private equity company. I worked at a huge manufacturer called Trane. Some of you may have heard of it, right? And so I oversaw all residential HVAC and light commercial for all of Trane and American Standard. So that's like $3 billion in sales going through. So, and we oversaw warranty, and you wouldn't believe, I mean, you would believe, but warranty is a huge thing, and it's a lot of tons of responsibility and making concessions of customers and all that other stuff. So I did that. And then I worked at the largest shop in the country, which is a $280 million shop, bigger than Tommy Mello. You know, he might not like that I say that, but I'm teasing him kind of, but it's huge, right? And so, and then just also working in the financial industry in a previous life, you know, I was with Morgan Stanley and Merrill Lynch and investment banking and all that other stuff. And so I understand the private equity side. And there's a huge thing going on in the industry. Like private equity is buying up a lot of stuff and has bought up a lot of stuff. But you got owners that are like, wait a sec, I didn't agree to this. Like they get the sell in, and then it's like very different, and it's like seems very cutthroat. So there's a lot of stuff going on like that. And I'm able to handle that. And maybe, I don't know if anyone in the industry has this, maybe, but maybe not, where they have all those backgrounds that I have all at the same time in the industry. I don't know anyone that's worked in all those aspects. So yeah.
And I think with your passion on creating these family-run, legacy-type businesses, having that background, being able to pull everything together, you're able to give that clear roadmap to these companies and say, hey, look, if you're here and you want to get there, second, third generation, you want to be able to have this, here are the opportunities that exist. You know, everybody has this love-hate relationship with PE right now. Right? They love it when they're the ones getting acquired, but they hate it when they're the ones competing against the PE-owned companies. Like there's just this thing about it where you either have this negative feeling towards PE or this positive one. And I seem to surround myself more with the people who have the negative feeling about it. Like PE is going to put me under. PE is going to take away all the good techs. PE is going to do this stuff.
Yeah. And even people that have sold to PE and then the deal's different once they're in it, and they're like, whoa, wait a second. And their name's on the business, and things can go completely sideways. And so knowing both sides and understanding, I can come in and help you leverage the manufacturer relationship in a way that you never have before. Because I worked with the manufacturer. I know how to do that. And I also know how to get top dollar. And I also know how to keep someone motivated because, you know, if someone buys you, how motivated are you? Like you're at 11 a.m. and fishing, drinking a beer. And it's like, wait a sec, we need you on. We bought you and we need you there working like really hard. And then some of them will be like, they'll give these owners these super high level positions within the private equity firm. And it's like, whoa, this is a big position. I've never had this. This is way bigger than just being an owner of a dealer. They feel good and it looks good and stuff, but it's like, it's hard, and there's a lot of stuff that they don't know, that they have a high learning curve. And then it's like, do I love this? Am I passionate about this? And so, yeah, it's a big thing. And we do help businesses get funding as well. I have access to a lot of money. And so I can help get it quickly for really low interest, maybe zero interest, and big pieces to help them expand too. So having those leverage networks is powerful, building customer service, building sales, building leadership, building management, attracting the right people, having the money to expand, and passing on. It's like, I got kids, but do the kids want to take over the business? Can they take over the business? Are they capable? Some of them don't want to give the business. Some kids don't want to be in the business. And that's tough, because it's like, I had kids so I could pass it to them, and it's just a simple thing where I'm the cool uncle. Let me talk to them. They see it in a different way. They say, oh, you know what? Yeah, I do want to do this. And so we're able to kind of they call me the cool uncle in the industry, where it's like the cool uncle is able to get the message through, because the parents are telling the kids. So as you say, owner's parent, employees are kids. Not really, but kind of. It's like, they're like, yeah, blah, 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 whatever, but the cool uncle tells them, and it's like, ding, oh, it's like, your son comes to you, Ryan, let's say, and it's like, hey, Dad, guess what I just learned? He's like, oh, wow. And he's like, he's just little, right? But he learned. He's like, and you're like, yeah, but I've been telling you that for like 3 months. He's like, I know, but Uncle Joey, he just told me,
Oh,
it's It's that really powerful. Yeah. So
I tell that story with my wife. She'll have this dress that she dusted off. It's been in storage forever. And I'm like, I love that dress on you. She's like, it's kind of old and ratty. I'm just going to wear it to the grocery store. And the clerk at the checkout stand says, I love your dress. And she's like, oh, this thing, I love it. It's so great. It's like, it's just always not the person that they spend all their time with that has to say it.
Right.
And I think too, the parents and the kids, I mean, their relationship is built on a multifaceted dynamic. Like, there's just so many different things between work and home and everything else. It's really hard to hear it from them. I tell a lot of our clients, and I say this when I'm speaking, is, build the business so that you can sell it. Yeah. And when you get to the point where you can sell it, whether it's to the kids or something else, you might just want to keep it, because it's a highly functioning business. Things are working well. You're not in that day to day, because that's what the kids see. The kids see mom and dad 24/7, don't get to take a vacation away, all this other stuff. And they're like, I don't want that.
Right.
And all they got to do is find someone like you that says, if you just make these couple of shifts, solve some of these problems, you can have that business you've always dreamed of. But for some reason, they get stuck in that. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that most of them grew up in the trades. And so they know how to be a technician. They think like a technician. They never thought like an entrepreneur. You said something.
That's beautiful. And it's kind of funny, because if you scroll through our 12X growth products, and it's a joke, it's like 12X is like, there's a company out there that says 10X all the time. I know who that is. But I also was like, wait a second, they copied some of my stuff about 5 years ago. I'm going to do 12X, And so it's kind of this joke, because we're both in Florida kind of thing, but just playful, right? Just playful. But it's like, we do those other things. Like, there's divorce coaching, there's co-parenting coaching. There's female business owner coaching, where it's like the mom runs the business, then goes home and runs the house, and is responsible for the kids. It's like, when the hell does she unplug? So we have all that stuff, but also understand, like, we're coaching owners that have sold their business and they're not in the industry anymore. Now what? Because it's like, there's only so many cocktails I can drink, so many beaches I can visit. Is this all there is? Like, what else is there to life? And so there's this whole art of fulfillment, because one piece is the entrepreneur mastering the science of success. And the other piece is, okay, I've done it and I love it and I want to stay with it. Just like you said, it's beautiful. But now there's the art of fulfillment. How do I stay fulfilled? And how do I get more and more fulfilled? Because, like, I'm good. And think of it this way. Let's say you're killing it at business and you go home and she's like, you didn't take out the trash. It's like, why would I go home? Now all of a sudden I'm having all these meetings, because at work I'm a god. And at home, I'm like this little lowlife. It's like, why would I go home? Now what happens to your marriage? What happens to your intimacy? It's like, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm good. And then they get divorced and they lose all their assets. It's like, that happens too. It's like, well, wait a second, what's going on? And this is what I would say. I would say to all the industry, guys, the highest level of fulfillment is an intimate relationship by 20X, maybe 30X, maybe 50X. There's nothing even close. But so many people say, I'm good. And if I hear a relationship, it's like, oh, we're good. I'm like, well, good sucks. How was the popcorn? Oh, it was good. How was the
Yeah.
wedding? Yeah, it was good. How was the movie? Yeah, it was good. Good sucks because the standard changed, right? Right. It's like
Yeah.
now good is terrible, great is good, excellent is, and it's kind of like it shifted. And so it's kind of like, well, what about that? And so one thing that's really unique is you don't have to, but you could light up your intimate relationship. You could be the most influential person in your kid's life where they're listening to you above TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that, and have a successful business and have massive fulfillment. We're doing all of those things because they're all part of the same thing. It's like, no, you only got to specialize in this. It's like, that's bullshit. You don't have to specialize in one thing. Why would you specialize? Wait a sec. Okay. So think of it this way. Okay. And you hear this all the time, especially being involved with developing employees within a structure. You hear, hey, leave your emotions at the door, right?
Yeah.
That's horse crap. Like, that's not even real. It's like, well, wait a second. I'm the same person everywhere I go. If I'm a different person, what does that say? It's like, that's like two-faced, right? So wait, it's like, take your emotions with you and learn how to use them in a powerful way to keep being who you are. You don't want to be a different person here, a different person here. Like, it starts getting really complicated and unfulfilled as you start categorizing your own personal, like, who I am. And so this is like a piece that no one talks about. I don't know any trainers talking about stuff like this. Maybe, but probably not. But we hit on all those things because it's like, it's so deep. And by the way, there's a lot of trainers that just copied other people's stuff and they just do the same thing over and over and over. You're going to know we invented it because we know how it works. You're going to know we invented it because it gets results right now. Like Bruce Lee, it's like, let's win the fight right now. Not this crouching tiger punch where I get knocked out and raped and then my kids get stolen. Like it looks cool, but it doesn't work. But it has to win the battle right now, immediately. Whether you're up against private equity money and you're into your competitor, or you have it and you're trying to like figure out how to stay motivated, or you want it or you don't want it, or whatever it is, those are all things that have to be mastered and can all be done at the same time. It's not overwhelming because it's like, well, wait a sec. Overwhelming compared to what? I don't really think that word is a real word. I think it's just right. Whatever's happening to you, whatever you're going through is just right, because you're going to realize, like, everyone has a moment, Ryan, where they're in their life and they're like, oh, it's too much. It's too much. Well, how do you know it's too much unless you go past the threshold? You don't know that. And so it's kind of funny, but I have this belief and I believe in God. You can call it whatever your belief system is, God, the great spirit, Mother Nature, the all-knowing, all-father, whatever, etho, whatever it is, based on your belief system. I call it God, you can call it whatever you want, but it's like, I believe we're protected where we'll never receive more than we can handle. I believe that. I think that's a true principle. And so whatever's happening to you, we want to take it and leverage it. And by the way, if something unfair happens or something terrible happens to you, are you tired and want to watch Netflix? Or are you like, oh, what's going on? What's it? Like, you're actually jacked with energy in that moment. If you really notice the detail, if you get in and you're like, wait a second, let me have awareness here. This just happened. I'm pissed. This is super unfair, but am I tired? Am I lazy right now? Wait, how do I use this? Right? It's free energy, no caffeine, no cocaine, no energy pills, whatever it is.
So what I just heard you say, Jeremiah, is go find the problems because that'll jack you up so that you can compete with someone like you.
Yeah.
And I want to transition to something you said because you were talking about problems earlier and how we have to solve them. And when we solve them, it creates something new. Like, because a lot of what you just said, what I've heard is, hey, life is challenging. Life, not business, not relationships, not kids, not parenting. Life has its challenges. And we're always looking for that next quick fix, that next solution. Well, if I just did this one thing, my life would be nirvana and everything would be fantastic. And that's not true. You've got to solve it in all these different areas that you just mentioned. But talk to me about this idea that, like, when we solve something, it creates this new thing. And now we just got to keep doing it.
Yeah. So, and the way I would language it is every solution creates a new problem. So everyone's out there at trade shows. I speak at a bunch of them. I've been a keynote and breakout and all that stuff for years, a lot of years, for 11 years, 12 years, whatever it was, since 2011, 2012. And everyone's out there to get it. And then it's like, okay, if you take it back and use it, cool. If you don't, it's like, all right, well, let's do it again next year or whatever. Hopefully you're taking it back and using it. But it's just kind of like, when I solve something, it creates a new problem. So let's say I solve my car issue by just buying a brand new car. right? It's like, it's a brand new car, but now I'm like, what if someone keys it? Now I got to park a little. I'm not just going to park anywhere. The hoopty, whatever. The car before that wasn't quite as nice in my mind, maybe, but the brand new one's like a lot nicer. So I'm just like more worried. And I'm thinking about it more, wondering about it more, having to park in a different place more. And now I'm like really careful because I don't want anything to happen. It's like, those are all new problems from the solution. So I just want to give an example. This is like, right? And the more stuff I have and the nicer stuff I have, the more maybe I'm worried about. So it's like, it's fine having great things and a lot of things, like that's nice. But there also comes a point where you're like, if we're just being, I don't want to be crude and it's just like deep masking. It's just deep mask. Like, hey, my balls are the same size no matter what car I drive or what house. Like you get to that point where it's like, okay, do I need to prove? I don't know. Like it's a different thing, right? But it's kind of like, if I can get myself to think this way, I can get my employees to think this way, I can get my family to think this way. Now we got something special. Right? Because if I'm booking a call, I say, hey, yeah. We're hey, Mrs. Jones, by the way, we're going to call 30 minutes before I come. Is this the best number? Oh, you're going to have your husband's cell phone? Okay, cool. Let me get that one. Right? It's like, I just want to let you know, you're going to know why we're the best in town. You're going to be so glad. And you're going to, you're going to have these beautiful experiences. Right? Hey, by the way, we also do plumbing. We also do electrical. We also do this. You got anything else going on? And you don't just say you got anything else going on. You say, anything else going on, like you plug it in and it just keeps falling out, or something's leaking, or here's some knocking in the wall, or it's taking too long for how are you? Anything else going on? And so you say things that trigger ideas. They say, oh, you know what? Hey, yeah. Now I got 2 cars at the home and they feel really big and important, right? Because we're doing 2 services at the same time, perhaps, or something. Mm-hmm. And so maybe 3 services. Now I'm booking for heating, I'm booking for plumbing, I'm booking for electrical. I should say maybe air conditioning, whatever. We're booking for all those, and maybe we have 5, 6 services we're booking for all at the same time. So then I go out and I serve it. Okay. So I just replace this thing, but what are the new problems that will arise by replacing it? Mm-hmm. Nobody thinks this way, or maybe very few, but it's a game changer. Because like, if I can just ask myself, hey, I'm going to install this. What are the new problems that will probably arrive? Let me talk to that about the customer and maybe also add to that as well, and have them ready. If nothing else, they're like, wow, they're really prepared.
Yeah, I see that a lot in the work we do, because we do a lot of change management and that mindset shifting. And sometimes people aren't even aware of what they don't know. It's the unknown unknowns. And then we educate them, we train them a little, and all of a sudden they take a step back and they go, I had no idea all these issues were here. Like They actually get to see new problems now. We talk a lot about the idea of attracting A players and getting these A player employees, these technicians that come in and they're amazing from day one and they do everything and they're productive and profitable. And it's like, where have they been my whole life? This is going to change my life. And then they get there, and we were chatting about this for a minute. They get there, and then 6 weeks later, they quit. They're like, this isn't what I signed up for. And it just creates, like, we've solved one problem, which was getting that A player, and it created all these other problems that we didn't even realize. Maybe A players don't want to play for our team. Yeah, maybe we're the team they don't want to be on.
And let me give like a cool analogy to back you up, because I think what you're saying is 100% on. So imagine if the wires are crossed. Okay, so on this side, there's John, and on this side there's Paul, right? And their wires are crossed. So when Paul says, hey, it's too hot, he turns down the temperature to kick up the AC. But this side gets the kicked up AC because the wires are crossed. So he says, oh, it's too cold. Let me turn it down, right? And this side gets the heating. So the more he gets hot, the more he's trying to change it, and this guy gets cold. The more this guy gets cold, the more he's trying to, and this guy gets hot. That's how it is in businesses. The wires are crossed, because what happens is when an employee does something bad or wrong, who feels the pain? And this is where it starts to get bad. If I'm the employee and I feel the pain, I fix it right away. But most systems are set up where the manager feels the pain, or the owner feels the pain, or a leader feels the pain. And then they come to you like, what are you doing? Why did you do that? Right? And it's like, why is it set up for you to feel the pain? Whoever feels the pain is going to do the change. If I'm hurting someone over and over and over, but it's going to my leader or manager, they're the one feeling the pain. They're the one getting riled up and pissed off. I don't feel anything. And so this is why the wires are crossed in so many businesses. And I'm just like, if you change it and set it up so they feel the pain first, they'll say, oh yeah, and they'll fix it because they don't want to feel it. And the manager and owner perhaps never even hear about it. And it's so crazy, but in those wires crossing arrows, that's like 99.9% of businesses I've gone into, there's some aspect of the business. So the question for the business owners out there is, where are your wires crossed? Where in a situation does a technician make a mistake, but the plumbing manager feels the pain? Or where is this, they make the mistake, but the other person feels the pain? Change it so they feel the pain. And guys, they'll fix it 100% of the time. 100%
Can you
of the
give
time.
me like a very concrete example? I love it when we can give the listener something where they go, whoa, I have that wire crossed. They can identify it. And I think identifying that is probably the first big hurdle they have to get over. Can you give a specific example of where you see that happen quite frequently?
Yeah, so like a simple one is, it's pretty common, I think, in most of these service businesses where a customer will say, I said this and they promised this, but they didn't do what they promised. I think that's a pretty common scenario.
Yeah.
So what most businesses will do is, oh, ma'am, let me play the recording and show you that you're an idiot, and they play the recorded call for them. And then the customer goes, and then they get mad and then they get defensive. And how did they hear about it, right? The customer called in and spoke to a leader, but we have to have a system where the customer calls in and is routed back to the same person. And a lot of people are scared to do that because they're like, well, I want to hear what's going on and see. And like too many people are trying to. So if we do levels of leadership, right? Level 0 is to just take over. Okay. So that you'd call step in. Level 1 is step up. It's kind of like move out of the way. I'll handle it. I'm here now. Everything's going to be fine. The next level, so 0 is just step in. 1 is step up. 2 is step beside, where you're coaching and working with someone. And then the next level is step away. And in the very best companies and very best situations, the owners, or sometimes you could have an executive committee, right? You realize CEO is not the top calling out there, guys. There's higher positions. The CEO is the bull with cufflinks in the face of the company, but they're not the highest level leadership. Like we understand that, probably most of us by now through private equity and stuff. But it's just kind of like, if I call in and I have a problem, I'm going to immediately route it back to that same person. And it's within a group. So how we did it at American Express. So I'll give you an example a little bit deeper. So when I worked for American Express, I was there setting up the black card, Centurion card. It's black, it's got silver, whatever. And it's like, oh, you see that? I was like, oh, that's nice. It was by invitation only. I don't know if it's still that way. But the way I set it up, we set up 5 people. And anytime you call in, you spoke to one of those 5 people every single time without fail. You never had to re-explain yourself. And those 5 people kept meticulous notes. Okay. So if a customer calls and they say, hey, you guys promised this is BS, you didn't do this. It's like, oh, let's just play the call and show you you're wrong. That's not going to do anything, right? So it's like, but who hears about it first? Usually it's a leader or a manager, because the customer's not going to call back the same person, because we have trained them that we're going to get defensive, defend our position, and not really help them. Like most customers train their customers to go around them. So I'll say that again. Most businesses, if your customers are calling a lot and complaining a lot, you've trained them to do that. So it's a deeper thing, right? So it's like they call in, it immediately goes to the manager, or it goes to a leader, and the leader says, hey, manager, why didn't you do this?
Yeah.
And the CSR manager's like, wait, who, what, how? They're getting blindsided. And they're getting contacted by their boss. Why didn't it go to just that manager? Why wasn't it routed to just the manager? Or even better, if you have a better system, why wasn't it routed to the same CSR? You can set it up in your system. So if a certain number calls, it routes to a certain extension. You can do that.
Yeah. As you're talking through all of this stuff, I'm just thinking about so many of the leaders that I found that have said, you know what, why won't my people step up? Why don't they care about the business? Why don't we care about that? Why don't we, what is wrong with people these days? And then when I take a step back and I really dig in and I look at the leader, the owner, and I'm like, it's because you keep stepping in.
Correct.
You don't step beside them. You don't step away and let them handle it. Most people, I maybe I'm naive, but I give people the benefit of the doubt. Most people, if they find out that they did something wrong, they want to fix it.
Oh,
They may not
always.
always
Yeah.
know how. They may need you to come alongside them and help, but they'll want to fix it. The last thing people want to do is find out I made a mistake and then hear about it from the boss and the boss solved the problem.
And
Because
they're
that person doesn't
blindsided.
learn.
100%. Yep.
They
And
don't
to
know how
your
to do it
point,
next time.
so this is interesting. So I coach a bunch of these successful business owners where they're in a mastermind and they go to Maui and all these other places throughout the world and they meet and they do all the catamaran and helicopters, all that stuff. And they called me up and they're like, hey, 6 of our guys are working with you, so we want you to come speak at the mastermind in Maui. And I'm like, okay, what's the topic? And they said, enhanced intimacy. And I'm like, what? And they're like, no. We want you to come speak on enhancing your intimacy, kind of, I think he said going at it like rabbits kind of thing. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he goes, dude, we have 6 people of the 30 people in our mastermind that are coaching with you. And they say their intimate relationships are through the roof since they started working with you. So we want you to come talk on it. Ryan, I didn't even know what he was talking about. I was like, okay. I drive masculine and feminine energy really intensely when I work with people, but whatever your core is, I help you get and stay in your core. And then the magic starts happening, I guess. So I was like, well, listen, I'll come because it's Hawaii, right? But why don't you have them tell what I did, and then I'll jump up and like back it up and give some more explanation. And they're like, yeah. So really what it got down to is if you're a masculine energy, okay, you're about freedom. Don't control me. Don't criticize me. And I'll die for all of that, right? I'll die for that. Every war ever fought was guys taking freedom or guys defending freedom every single time. It's always that. And then for feminine energy, it was like, I need to feel understood. If I don't understood, it doesn't matter how much you love me, I don't feel a thing, right? And I need to have attention, not sometimes, all the time, right? And no matter how much you give, feminine energy wants more. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not needy. It's just a need. And then the third thing was they just need to feel safe. And it's like, yeah, come on, whatever. But if I go into a room of 5,000 people, men and women, and I say, hey, guys, how many of you felt unsafe in the last 30 days? There's like maybe 2 hands. I say, hey, women, how many of you felt? Every hand goes up. This guy was looking at me weird. This guy was doing this. This guy was bird dogging me, like whatever. It's like, guys, look around the room. This is real, right? And so it's just like getting into the feminine energy, because if you have a guy you can control, so can another woman. If you can control your man, so can another woman, and you'll never trust him. It's just, there's all this stuff going on, right? And so I talked about some of that stuff. So here's why I tell you this. I get to the place, and one of the guys that leads the mastermind owns this hotel, the whole hotel in Maui. It's his. And it's voted best pool in all of America. So if you want to go look it up, you can see which hotel. I'm not going to pitch the hotel, right? But I go in and I see a big painting of the owner, and it's not him. And I'm like, what? I thought he said he owned it. And so I went and asked him, and he goes, yeah, I own it. I was like, well, how come you have that guy? He goes, I don't need people to know who I am. Plus, if there's ever problems, they go talk to him or whatever. And and I was like, really? I'd never heard of that. That blew my mind. That this guy was so unworried about significance, because that's really a big thing. And it's a big thing in our industry. It's like, I want people to know who I am. I want to be treated, well. I want people to get respect, all that stuff. It's like, and that a lot of businesses have the name of the owner. It's a true thing. It's a real thing. And we need that significance, but some need it a lot more than others. And when it gets to become more, now I have to be the most important person in the room every single time. That's unsustainable. So he was like, I put that guy, and he just pays the guy, and the guy holds his position, and he's the so-called owner, but really it's the other guy. And I was like, man, that's crazy. And so the reason I say that is because it really comes down to being able to step away. It will run better without you, but you stay connected through the mentoring. And that's probably the biggest challenge in the industry that I see with owners. Maybe you see it too, maybe not, maybe disagree, is they're having a hard time letting go of overriding and controlling, and just, it is so hard. It's so hard. Some of them sell their business and they're totally lost, And I've worked with a bunch of them, but it's like, wait a second, it's more fulfilling. If I have worked with someone and mentored someone and I see them win, it's nice. It's like I win, it feels good. And for a while, it like really gives me this big thing. But after a while, it's like, there's got to be more to life, right? Like I've already dominated, right? And so it's just kind of like, huh. But when you have employees, they're doing the press release or they're doing the news conference or they're doing the thing, or it's really hard to detach when it means so much to you. And that's maybe why the business is so successful, because it meant so much to you. You took it personally. But when you're able to do that, it turns out other people, like think of it this way, 16-year-olds can drive, Ryan. Look at a 16-year-old. It's like, dude, that kid can't, there's no way. That
Should
kid
not be
can't
driving.
but they do. They
Yeah.
just do, because they have intelligence. And it's like, no, I would argue he has less intelligence. It's like, I know, yeah, but they can do it. And that's why the age is so young. And you have to think about it that way. It's like each position in your company, you're giving them a license and you're letting them drive. And you got to just do it. And every great company, I think any super successful company agree, yeah, you got to do it, But letting go of that is really hard, but very fulfilling afterward.
Yeah. Yeah. As you were talking, it just got me thinking about, so I hear so many owners say this business is my baby. And really a lot of them actually care about that business more than they do their own kids sometimes.
True.
But it's their baby. And the last thing you want to do is have a 16-year-old snot-nosed kid come and start running your daughter, right? Like just taking over and stepping in. It's like, no, this is my baby. No one's good enough for my baby. And they don't want to step away from it. But what I found is when you care about your people as much as you care about the business, they're going to care about the business as much as you care about them. Like it's this reciprocity thing that happens. And so often they don't care about their people enough. And so the people are like, well, I'm not valued here, so why should I care about the business? But the second you value your people.
And I think if you, this is a really beautiful statement, actually. And I think if you say, so one of the things we do at Shop and Wire is like, we don't just solve the problem, we solve why the problem is a problem, which is a deeper level of work. But you say, okay, why would that happen? And here's something interesting. So I found in owners that have a really hard time letting go, they're super judgmental of their past self. Okay. So think of it this way. So here's a study I conducted that I think you'll find very interesting. It's like, I'm going to the gym and there's certain guys at the gym. I'm like, dude, I hate that guy. I don't even know why. Like, I can't stand that guy. It's like, why would that be? Doesn't make any sense. He didn't do anything, but there was something about the person where you just like felt a natural clash. Like, and then the other people like, oh, I like that guy. I don't know why, whatever. And you just like, we're going to be friends. And here's what I found. I really dove into that. And this ties back to what you said. I really dove into it. I said, you know what? I'm going to make friends with all the people I naturally don't like at the gym. And I'm not a big talker. I'm like, get there, like 100,000 miles an hour, 5 days a week, whatever. And I said, you know what? I'm going to slow down. I'm going to talk. I started talking to him. I said, this is a good guy. Why didn't I like him? And I realized I don't like him because something I hated about myself from the past, this is going pretty deep right now, like something I hated about from the past, I saw in him. And I hadn't resolved that. So I naturally didn't like him and had this like despise almost against him that made no sense. I said, oh, you know what? I need to do that. So we built this really powerful technique where we take you and we go to your past self and you say, idiot, why did you do that? It's so stupid. I say, hey, wait a second. It's all I knew. That's all I knew. I didn't know any different.
Wow.
You know what? Like, I know it sucks and it was a bad decision, And now that I'm here, I see there, but I didn't see it there. I'm here. So I can't really judge myself from here because I didn't know. It's all I knew. And as soon as you say it's all I knew, you start laughing. You say, oh, okay, yeah, you're okay. And then it resolves. And now you can get along with that kind of a person. And so I think deeper, that's what happens in businesses. This is like a super deep one, right? I didn't necessarily mean to go so deep, but some people out there are going to go, oh my gosh, that makes sense. And other people are like, oh, it's bull crap, But it's like, you'll get to the point at where you say, you know what? Yeah, that's interesting. And it's all about if I can continue to grow and I have to grow as fast or faster than my company. or I'll sabotage it.
Yeah,
And you see, like, boom, they get this growth and like, hey, it's too hard. It's not worth it to make. And we go back down to this size, right? Or like down here. It's like, wait a second. If you just grow and expand yourself, it's not too hard.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of like, it's kind of that piece. But that's one thing I would give out to people is like, look back your past self and just start laughing and be like, dude, that's all I knew. And find a way to resolve it, because once you do, you will not have a hard time letting go of employees. I guarantee it's like 100%.
Well, with that incredibly deep but amazing advice and coaching for our listeners, Jeremiah, this has been amazing. I'd like to know, how do people learn more about you? I mean, I've been on your website. I could spend a day just reading through all of the stuff you have on your website, just learning about the different things. And I love how you described that this isn't just business. It's not just family. It's not just parenting. It's not just friendships. It's not just fine. It's everything. Like, it's all, you got all of it. Just like you said, you can't leave the emotions at the door. When you work with a human being, you get the whole human being. Yes. There is no severance. There is no being able to split that and separate that. Same thing happens with owners. We cannot divide that and say, hey, I'm going to be amazing at work and amazing at home and amazing. It's hard to do that. And you give a bunch of great examples and a bunch of great analogies on why that is. How do people learn more about you? How do they connect with you? And do you have anything for our listeners?
Yeah. So shoponfire.com. It's 844 a man on fire. You can call that number. And then we have a lot of social media. I think organically I got 60, 70,000 followers. It's not a lot, but it's not like nothing. And I didn't pay for it. No shout outs. It's just organic stuff. But a lot of the reels and videos are super powerful, and they're quick and they're exciting. But yeah, I just say shoponfire.com. You can book an appointment through there. It's free. You don't have to pay anything or whatever. And I think it has quite a bit of options. It might be someone else. It might be me. If you want to talk to me, I'm happy to talk to anyone. I'm not above anyone. I never have been. And I really like the people. It's like, hey, I really want to talk to him. It's like, okay, I'll talk to you. I will create time. It doesn't matter if I'm busy or not. I'll create time for anyone at any time. I really will. And I mean that. Or 844 man on fire, or you can message through social media and stuff like that. But I did want to offer a giveaway. So I wanted to do 2 free coaching sessions. And this is our Step Away CEO program. So if you're a leader of a business, you run the business, or you're next in line to run the business, I do want to offer a $5,000 value. So I do want to offer some coaching sessions. If you reach out to me and you in the message just put Ryan is awesome for Ryan Englin, then I'll know that was you. And I'm going to give out 5 of them. So whoever responds, I'm going to give it out to them. And I will personally commit to do the sessions myself. We have other coaches and trainers and all that other stuff, but I'll personally commit to doing those with you. And we'll do $5,000 worth of Step Away CEO training. And keep in mind, when we listen, we're going to be looking for levers. What are the levers in your life that you pull them and like massive results happen? Versus like I get in a cockpit and I'm like this and I flip this and this changes the ailerons. I'm like, that doesn't do anything. But I was like, right? I do that and I see huge results. So we'll get you those. We'll figure out what some of those are and help you pull on some of them. And that's my offer for you. You have to be a fan of Ryan and his podcast. So you have to have liked them. So I have to see that you're following him. And also in the message, it has to say Ryan is awesome. But those are the qualifications. So if you can follow directions, the first 5 people will be able to have the $5,000 value each. So 5, that's $25,000 giveaway. So that's pretty good.
Jeremiah, you are such an amazing human being. So knowledgeable. I mean, just so much insight into just how businesses are operated by people and the fact that we work with people. And it's all this human element that you bring to it. Thank you so much for being on the show today. This was such a pleasure. I mean, I learned a lot. This was great. Thank you for being on the show.
Love what you're doing, man. Keep it up. And would love to support you guys in any way with the work that you're doing inside the companies and developing people. So my pleasure. Let's definitely do it again for sure. And, I want you talking more next one. But
it was great.
I just want to help people and I'm super passionate, as you can see. So
yes, definitely. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ryan. Have a good one.
Ryan Englin here. Thank you so much for listening to Titans of the Trades. If you're a titan in the construction, manufacturing, or skilled trades industry and would like to be a guest on my show, please visit podcast.corematters.com. If you found value in this interview, would you share this episode on social media? Just do a quick screenshot on your phone and share it with a friend or post it on social. And if you know someone that would be a great guest, tag them on social media to let them know about the show and include the hashtag Titans of the Trades. I love seeing your posts and guest suggestions. We are regularly putting out new episodes and content. To make sure you don't miss any episodes, click the subscribe button. Your thumbs up, ratings, and reviews go a long way to help promote the show and get me one step closer to solving the labor crisis facing the industry. Want to know more about how we're doing that? Go to our website or follow me on LinkedIn. Thanks for listening.